Hey, what's up, everybody? I am trying to get everything put together as the Lord is leading me to do so. He's got me in rapid fire, man. Whew. Not to mention, it's quite warm outside. I wear this, though, because of the mosquitoes. And I got my dreads done under here. Yeah, I'm wearing dreads, just trying to learn the experience and everything. And it's been rough. I made a posting about it, YouTube video concerning what dreadlocks have been doing to me since I put them in my head. And I know every detail of my body. God makes sure I can keep track of every detail of my body. And so when something changes, I know it. And I know as soon as I put these dreadlocks in, for instance, I've been congested like this ever since. And it's just kind of there. And no, I don't use drugs. Never have. But apparently this hairstyle is associated with people who have been using drugs. Get off the stuff, man. It affects people more than you know by the spirit. Get off the stuff. Leave that mess alone. Sadly enough, even if you get sober, that still don't change the fact that it's attached to you. I did a posting about that too. Don't mean to get on here and go left, but I'm exhausted. I've been out here, man, years offering prayer, sacrificing everything for people, man. And I keep coming up with different ways that I can help myself be able to maintain, as best as I can out here without having to have money too much and all this stuff. And so I decided, what, if God is saying, put them in your hair, that why not? Then I won't have to worry about dealing with haircuts and all this stuff. Man, I put these things in my head and realized that God wanted me to understand the experience. Because otherwise, Lord, why would you have me to do something like this to my head, especially after what I've encountered? Okay? It's been awful. But anyway, what I want to talk to you about right now, I did a posting about the dreadlocks and all that stuff. You can find a video on YouTube and stuff. I've done some previous postings on Facebook back some time ago about the dreadlock and all that stuff. But the videos is more confirmation there, so you can find them and view them. What I wanted to speak to you about real quick, as it is right now, pertaining to kidnappings and all that stuff, y'all got to be careful. Because if you've seen those vans riding around, it seems like they're more common nowadays anyway. Those vans riding around that's got the ladders on top of it. Usually they're painters or they work in some form of construction or whatever. Be careful. God is letting me know that there will be a movement of people being snatched up and taken away. I've done some postings about disappearances. I think I did one on Facebook not long ago. Probably within the last week or two, that there are buses and things like that are going to be sweeping through, especially in times of natural disaster. Keep an eye on that when things get severe with the weather in your area and stuff starts to really, really fall apart there. I'm talking about where damage is truly done. God is getting ready to send hurricanes and tornadoes through a lot of locations where you will be surprised that it happened there, but it's going to happen. And this is something that is generated by certain technology, and it is designed to shake things up a bit. See, when they create a place or an area of destitution, that means where devastation, fires, natural disasters like hurricanes and tornadoes and mudslides and stuff like that, when all those things happen in those areas and people are expelled from their home, they're made to evacuate in case their homes become damaged. They don't want to be in there, of course, to get hurt. So these emergency shelters are being put up. And the people are then bussed over to those emergency shelters to the capacity of which they can be filled. Well, rumor has it that a lot of those shelters are starting to cause people to go missing. People don't return home anymore. Their things go missing, they go missing and all that stuff, but still the shelters are intact. And the beds are made up, ready for more people to come. So that's a sign that something is going wrong. Okay. The next thing is that in light of that, at least they're going to emergency shelters. I'm going to tell you, you can't avoid getting your head chopped off no matter how hard you try. You're going to be faced with a decision, okay? And God knows your heart already. So there's no way you can hide from it. I don't care if you go into dens and all that stuff and into rocks and hiding places and all that stuff. There are people already down there anyway. They'll know where you're at. They'll find you, especially if you've been using drugs. Your mind has been opened up to allow those that have authority to come find you to be able to find you. They can tap right into your mind because you've weakened it by using drugs. So now that that's out the way, I can tell you that there are going to be people that are not going to make it into emergency shelters. In the word, God says that people should not, in the time to come, that people should not go back down off the rooftops to go into their homes to collect anything. Now, tell me why God is sort of, letting me know, and it's directly relational to there's an enemy around here somewhere, and I think they just parked in front of me. It's causing me to stutter and everything. Bear with me, because somebody just parked over there and it's causing me to stutter. Somebody just crossed my path or something, so just bear with me. It ain't nothing but the enemy. But there are some people that won't make it into shelters because they'll end up running into the wronger aspect of being collected and gathered up. Those vans with those ladders remind me of that scripture that says to not come down off the roof and go back into your homes to collect anything. Don't come down off the mountains and go back into your homes to collect anything, that you need to flee into the mountains. But don't let no man return to his house to collect any goods. Well, God has let me know that the reason why those vans are marked with ladders on top of them is because they represent those who come down and go back into their homes to collect things. That those men have spirits of sodomites, spirits of rapists, and child molesters. That if you go back down into your home, you run the risk of being gathered up by them. Now, there is one particular van that parks over there across the street. Okay? That place over there is an abomination. It's going to be some kind of concentration camp. You can look at it and tell. They've got a big old open field over there with the fence around it. They keep it cut, but there's nothing in it. They keep it cut a couple times a week. And then you have a fenced in area right there and an eating area over there. And all of that is connected. Okay? There's even a school for little children all the way up to high school. I think 12th grade over there. And so it's all one community. You need to avoid places like that. Some of you won't be able to. You'll be bussed into places like that and you'll be kept out in the field and they'll start asking you questions and then they'll start doing beheadings. And I'm telling you, that's exactly the way how it's going to go. God's already confirmed it. It actually looks like a shelter I stayed in Dallas one time called The Bridge. Everything was open. It was all concrete, and you had to take a mat and put it on the concrete and sleep on that outside. There was another area that you stepped up into called the pavilion with fans in it, that at night you had to be on a list in order to be able to put your sleeping bag and your mat in there and sleep indoors. Otherwise, everybody else slept outside. And so I'm warning you that those vans that you see with ladders on top of them, the Lord is telling me that that is a kidnapper spirit, a stalking spirit. There's a guy that parks his van over there and always wants to look over here toward me, but I started recording him one day. And since then, he moves around pretty quick. But God let me know that the reason why he does that is because he has no self-control. And you know what? Drugs. It's a white van. See, when you use the drug, you have all the faculties, but there is a downside to it. And he must have stopped using it, but now his mind is being encapsulated with all kinds of things and that stalker mentality. So you need to be careful of those vans, any kind of van, honestly, but definitely the ones with ladders and stuff attached to them because they are perpetrating as workers and painters. So it's easier for them to move around. Be warned.